we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China, with 1.4 billion people, we have 350 to pay. Nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally.
With these words on Monday, soon after his inauguration, Donald Trump once again withdrew the United States from the World Health Organization, or WHO, the United Nations Health Agency, which was at the forefront of the battle against the COVID pandemic. Trump has justified his move in the executive order, charging the WHO of mishandling the pandemic, failure to adopt urgently needed reforms, inability to demonstrate independence from the inappropriate political influence of WHO member states, meaning China, and continued demand of unfairly onerous payments from the US. Order mentions the wide difference in the annual contributions by the US and China. Order says China contributes only 90% less to the WHO, despite having 300% of US population. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus reacted to Trump's announcement with a statement on social media expressing regret over the move. He reminded the world how the US is WHO founding member, which has benefited from its work. He also expressed the hope that US will reconsider its step.
The World Health Organization regrets the announcement that the United States of America intends to withdraw from the organization. We hope the United States will reconsider, and we look forward to engaging in constructive dialogue to maintain the partnership between the United States of America and WHO for the benefit of the health and well-being of millions of people around the globe.
The US president's move raises concerns over how the Global Health Agency will carry on its work after losing out on a big chunk of its funding. WHO's funding comes in two ways: mandatory assessed contributions from members and voluntary contributions from countries and organizations. Assessed contributions have remained stagnant over the years. Assessed contributions now cover less than 20% of its budget. The US withdrawal is likely to have a huge financial impact on WHO. WHO received around 20% of its fund from the US. The US is the biggest contributor in assessed contributions at 22.5%. China pays 15%. The US is also the biggest donor among voluntary contributors. The US made up around 13% of voluntary contributions in 2023. China only 0.14%. The European Union also expressed concern about Trump's decision and uncertainty about how to plug WHO's financial gap.
Regarding the finances, the financial gap that you implicate, we now analyze closely with our partners the situation, and we urge all the WHO members to address this challenge and to reinforce the commitments to have a predictable and flexible funding for the WHO.
Another international commitment which was always in Trump's crosshairs was the Paris Climate Accord. He withdrew the US from it the day he returned to the Oval Office, as he had done even in 2017. Experts say the move has the potential to irreparably damage the battle against global warming and climate change.
What is different now from, for example, 2016 is that we are looking at overshooting 1.5 degrees. That is becoming very, very likely. The hope back in 2016 was that we will be able to keep warming to 1.5 degrees. Now we look at overshoot.
The US Paris Accord withdrawal looks set to jeopardize plan for phasing out fossil fuels, nations going net zero on emissions, climate finance objective, and much more. The COP29 climate talks ended in Azerbaijan in November last year, with developed countries not budging beyond $300 billion offer for climate finance that has been described as too little, too late by negotiators of developing nations and activists. Now this offer could also be in jeopardy. Bureau Report, DD India.